African braiders, so African braiders, Americans have come for you. I just thought to come and ask you a question. Dear African braiders, what did you do that you have gone to cause problem for yourselves like this? So I watched the video where an African lady who is actually African, but she doesn't look African. She actually looks like a black American, and then she went to a salon to make her hair. On reaching there, and they call this hair Didi salon in America, and she now said she wanted to do her hair, but she's looking for, she was asking for 3 hairstyles: cornrow, boho, and I think knotless. So she told them, and they said, oh, they can do it. And then the other one turned to her and tells her that, can you really do cornrow? She said no, she can't do cornrow. They're not speaking in French. But the thing is, Africans speaking French, how many countries in Africa speak French? So we already know the people who are in this mess, right? But what they didn't know is that she could speak, she could understand the language, the French they were speaking. And they shouldn't even also forget that it's not just Africans that speak French. Do you understand? It's not just Africans that speak French. And I'm making this video to say that if you are an African hair braider, be careful. Treat your customers nicely, because she said they've been having this same back and forth. And then a lady on the comment section said that she has been having the same problem, the same energy being tossed to her each time she goes to an African shop. And for the longest, she has not been to an African shop. Know that African shops are shops where people go to when they want to do braids, good braids. They go to African shops. They go there to braid their hair. So if your customer comes and tells you what she wants, please try as much as possible to do the things she wants. And if you cannot do it, own up to say you can't do it. And then she shows her another hairstyle. She said, oh, I actually made this hairstyle. She spoke in English. And then when the lady told her what hairstyle is that, are you sure you're the one that made? She said no, she's not the one that made it. The lady doesn't need to know. Do you understand? Another scenario, while she was there, the other lady came and said, oh, this hairstyle you are going to do and all of that. She said, okay, do this length. She said, no. She actually said, no, that's not the length she want. They did the argument back and forth, the waistline argument, the top burner, whatever argument. And she now said no. When the other lady came, she said, no, don't worry. We are going to do this other one she was asking for, but they would charge her for another length. These Americans, they are very, trash. She said something, that made her really upset. So my question is, why do you treat, Didi's store or whatever in America, if you come across this video, whoever has used you to make their hair, please try to treat your customers well. That kind of review is a very bad review, and it shouldn't even be heard of an African shop. We Africans are people who are being held with traditions, except for few African countries that are very disrespectful. They already know themselves. I don't need to mention. They are very, very disrespectful. And for the African countries that speak French, I don't see them like people who are problematic, even though we know there are always some bad eggs who try to spoil things for us. And this is the thing, the reason why I keep telling people that, please, as much as possible, treat people well. Whether the person is black American, whether the person is white American, whether the person is, whatever, wherever the person comes from, whether it's Asia, wherever they come from, treat people well. It is so bad for Americans to be speaking the way they speak about our African salons. Like African salons, people have complained that they gossip a lot. And what beats my imagination is that each time I go to the salon, I don't meet gossip. Like maybe it's the kind of salon I go to, I don't meet gossips. But on this comment section, a lady commented how she has stopped going to African salons for the past how many months, and 6,000 people actually liked or reacted to her comment, meaning that the more African salons begin to do all of those kind of things, like pull strings that will make people upset, they'll keep losing customers. And the reason why you are in America is to make money, right? Now, the black Americans, or naturally, the Americans are saying, you are in our country making money. Why do you need to disrespect us and still collect our money? So if you don't treat your customers right, how do you expect people to come to your salon and you still make money? Why make money off people you don't like? Do you understand? So I feel, terrible watching that. I feel so bad that that woman was treated that way. I'm not one person that will say, oh, because I'm not American, and then even if Americans don't like us, for example, even if they don't like us, it will be very rude of me, uncultured of me. Let me use the word. I'll be so uncultured to think that it is okay for people to maltreat other people just because they are not from my race or tribe or whatever. But when it shows that something like that happened today. Somebody spoke a dialect that is supposed to be a dialect I understand, but the person didn't know I understood what they were saying. So it happens. I know of one of my aunts who was traveling one time via public transportation, and then she saw one lady, I think a man or a lady. The person was smelling, according to what they said. So she now turned to my brother, my older brother, and said, "Kai, this person is smelling." Do you know, the lady replies in our dialect and says, you are the one smelling. Do you understand? You're the one smelling. So she was taken aback because she didn't believe that woman understood our language. She felt the woman was a different tribe. So sometimes don't look at people just by looking at people at face glance, or maybe just seeing them and you think, oh, this person is from here, this other person is from here. I told you guys a story where a Zimbabwean, I don't know where that guy is from, maybe Angola or Zimbabwe, where he was just passing on TikTok, even though we keep telling you guys these things and you don't want to believe. And the man was saying on live that, Nigerians are really hated by South Africans, that he was just on his own, that South Africans mistook him to be Nigerian. Meanwhile, he's not Nigerian. He spoke and they said, no, he doesn't sound, he sounds Nigerian. And he said he's not Nigerian. And, they looked at him. His looks does not really tell you what somebody looks like. Looks cannot categorically say, oh, this person is this tribe. Sometimes looks could be deceptive. So you can see, treat people nice, treat people well. This is the same thing we have been teaching to South Africans to do. Let them treat people well, let them treat people nice. Don't disrespect people just because you think that it's in your behavior or your attitude to do that. Don't do that, because everybody has a right to associate. Everybody has a right to go to a salon to make their hair. Everybody has the right to eat what they want to eat, do the kind of hair they want to do. If as African salons are doing so well and you're getting all the patronage you need, do not spoil it, because now your own salon is disrespecting customers. According to what I heard, they make good hair, but they are disrespectful, they are rude to their customers, they are not kind and all that, and all the time they gossip the black Americans and even the Americans. And the truth is, how do you gossip people who give you food? Because when they don't pay you, how do you make money? Do you understand? So if you are out there doing hair, whether you are in Africa or outside Africa, be very careful, be kind to people, be courteous, because when you are kind and courteous, it can bring you customers. So today I made this food for somebody referred me to some other person who makes food. So as a person referred me to that person, a person said, oh, does she make ekpang very well? And the lady said, yes, I make ekpang. And the first day I made it, they loved it. They still asked the woman that I should make more. In fact, at this point, they were now begging me, when am I going to make it? Is it on Monday or Tuesday, please? When am I going to make it? Because I've shown that integrity, that I cook well and I put all the ingredients, everything, nothing missing, and they eat it and see that it's well detailed. My cooking is usually very detailed. For those people who have followed me on my food channel, when I used to have a food channel, they know, very detailed and everything. My meals are usually really packed with proteins, different types, from a lot healthy meals, and like the food I made today for them is a healthy meal called ekpang, and it's the healthiest meal in the world. Like, you cook it from the ground and then place it on fire, add water that is already boiled, and then in few minutes it's done. So I think that the way you treat your customers make them come back. There are people that if they are doing any function, like they are celebrating birthdays and all of that, like the lady I made coconut rice for, I made moi moi, I made there's some people call it beans pudding, I made fried fish, and I made pepper soup, goat pepper soup for. They really enjoyed it, and it was her 50th birthday. They called me to do all of those things. These are people who have been patronizing me from far back 2017, 2018 to date. So if you are not a loyal person, you will not keep your customers. Be kind to people. That's generally why I made this video. Be kind.